Well, I was very fortunate. I had loving parents, and my mom was a teacher, and my dad was an inventor. So I grew up in his shop, what he called a shop, and where everything was possible. And he always said that. He said, anything you want, we can make. So as I grew up and had that possibility, I decided that I wanted to be a dentist. I was applying to dental school back in what I always call the dark days, back in, they always say back in the day. Well, in that day, it was before women could go to professional school. They did not accept your application, which is, now when I say that to my granddaughters, they're like, Nana, is that true? I mean, really?
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, it didn't make any difference what your grades were. So I decided to go to dental hygiene school. So I thought, well, that's close enough for the times. And I had that as a wonderful career, and it turned into helping to form the first peer board in the United States. So I was able to expand it, but then there was a point where I kept getting this nagging feeling that I was complete, that I had done a good work, done my best. And, a lot of people think that there's kind of an epiphany, sort of like and there can be for many people. But in my case, it was more a small voice that kept saying, like on your phone where you put it on call waiting, I kept saying, I've got a call waiting. I have got to figure this out. So my question at that point was, how do I find my passion and energy? How do I do that? What are the steps? So really, the whole clarity coaching was an answer to a question, which is how do I find passion and purpose? And when I figured that out for myself, then I was able to expand it to others. Well, first of all, coaching was a brand new career. It had always been into sports, and it was always performance oriented. And my curiosity was how to make it energy oriented. So in terms of the thread of possibility, I thought, I don't know this, so I'm going to go study. So I took an 18-month sabbatical, and I studied everything. Now, dial the clock back 25 years, when energy was not part of the conversation that it is today. So when I looked at disciplines that I wanted to know more about, I looked at Tai Chi, which is how energy moves in space. I looked at Feng Shui, which is, again, an energetic principle. I studied with Heart Math, who was in their early years. I studied with Eastern Chakra energy people. Then I came to understand that I could see energy. I could see people in a way. The words that I used was they lit up. So passion is an energy that radiates. It comes out of people. They glow. And the words that I used, because it's what it looked like to me, was lights on. And also, when things didn't work for them, or they were dull in something, they would look dull. It would be lights off. And then I thought to myself, well, that's not going to help anybody if I'm the only one that sees this. So I'm going to study coaching. I'm going to figure out a way to coach people and film them so that they make a feedback loop, so they could see what I was seeing. Then the actions belong to them. And that's what that seeing your own lights on is, what gives you the answer. A way to think about that too is we're always at choice points where we always get to choose what our next action step is. And if we understand in our body that that's lights on and we go in that direction, we create more of that. I think my strength was my ability to stop what I was doing and get quiet and listen to the answers and be innovative and courageous and make up stuff. And so I started my company and called it Clarity. All visions are evolutionary. They change. They're like, I think of them as like snowballs that kind of are rolling down a hill, pick up things and throw things off. And so in the pickup of clarity, the way that happened was so magical that, you know how a composer will say they heard a song in their head and they write it down?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I heard a river. I know. And so I drew it out, and it's just absolutely beautiful. And so on the Clarity website, people can look at the river, and it's in the book. It is a flow pattern for how to live your life lights on. And then we got it all drawn up and graphically designed, and it's lovely. And that's the evolutionary nature of dreams. I didn't start out with Clarity saying, I'm going to write a book, and I'm going to draw a map, and I'm going to create an operating system to help people think positively. I didn't. I started with a passion, and the passion led to the next steps. And that is the evolutionary nature, how Clarity works. The big secret sauce for Clarity was where people could look at themselves and feel what it felt like to choose from lights on. And that's how the company started. So, of course, we attracted visionaries. People that are visionary love Clarity's method. And then they would refer people, and it ended up from a small kind of, I'm going to say, brand new coaching company to getting on NPR, being interviewed on NPR. Actually, now it has been many times on New Dimensions, and that voice of Lights On has gone all over the world in ways that I never, ever would have known. It is such a gift, and it always touches my heart, because, it's like, who knew? I mean, there I was making up something, and it has served people so well. It lets people make their choices from the inside out. And it's what's been the beauty in this work, and it has spread and helped so many people.